a special live edition of Living Luxuriously for Less. Today, we're going to be talking about how to put together or how to assemble luxury centerpieces. So, I got a new centerpiece yesterday in the mail. And so, I decided I wanted to kind of go through the process of assembly so that you all will not be overwhelmed or intimidated in any way when you get these in the mail. Okay. And so we're going to first start by you want to make sure all of your pieces are in place according to the instructions. So you want to go through your instructions and verify all of your pieces. You want to remove everything that needs to be removed. And you're going to start from there. So the first thing I'm looking for is my base. I have my base in place. And then I have the four corners. I have the four pole uprights, the two pieces to create that box. And then I have my actual finials. And I think that is all that I need for this particular one. I think that's it. So the first thing I want to do is I want to remove the film. Hey, Wanda. Hey, y'all. The camera is kind of far away. So unfortunately, I can't see your comments up close, but I promise you I'll stop and make a comment. So I do want to go ahead and take this film off. I realized that if I wore gloves, I could keep fingerprints and things like that off of it. But I don't want to put the whole thing together and then try to. Oh, thank you, Donzel. I'm going to be going live again in just at 7 o'clock. But I wanted to put this one together because it can be time consuming. Hello, everyone. And this is like the square centerpiece. I got the taller one. And when I tell y'all that this plastic is on here, it's on here. This protective covering. It is on here, Jack. So all these little things, you want to make sure you do this before you head to the venue. Okay? And if anybody has any tips and tricks for this, let me know. Like I said, wear gloves to minimize your fingerprints in it, but you can go back and wipe them off. I just want to get this all done. We're almost there. And make sure you have like a recycling bin for things that can be recycled or a trash can nearby for things that cannot be recycled because you want to kind of keep the packaging contained once you start putting this all together. So I wanted to put this together in real time just so you guys could kind of see how long it takes. Now, I have never had to pull off a protective covering that was this thick on here, y'all. My goodness. Never in the history. Hello. Okay, there we go. And my fingerprints are in it, unfortunately, but they're there. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is I like to get my toolkit because everything that I need is typically in here. If I'm looking for scissors or anything like that, a pen, I keep my pencil. I even keep my pencil in my toolkit. So if I need anything to kind of make my job easier, when you're opening packages, you want to slice away. Be really careful so that you don't cut anything. These are all my crystals. And these things often are shipped over via container. And you just want to make sure that they stay. And if I'm afraid I may cut something, I'm going to go ahead and pull my scissors out to kind of break out the crystal pieces. Now these are glass. Normally I get the plastic, but those are glass. The acrylic. The glass shows up more brilliant in photos, but I am still going to get some acrylic substitutes. Cause like, look, this. Be sure to read, y'all. You get an option for glass or acrylic. This is why, because the glass is pretty, but it will break easier. And I have a mixture of both the glass and the acrylic. Okay, so all of those are good. Okay, now we have all of our pieces out. And typically they do ship you extra because they do kind of plan for that. So the first thing we want to do is put on our collar bands. That's the first thing we want to do. We're going to twist those on. I'm going to turn this way. And I want to get off the extra plastic. You know what? A tweezer may work better with that. And so you're just going to start twisting it all. Okay. Super easy, super simple. I love the fact that this one, they went ahead and included all the screws and everything in it. And I will link this for you guys down in the comments. I should have linked it before we went live, but I will. All right. So now we are going to, this is the top, we're going to build the bottom. And whenever you're looking for these pieces, you're putting these pieces together, always look for the top, because the top, the holes, you always want those to point towards the bottom. All right. So we have that square piece on. You see, we angle this where you all can see the whole thing. Okay. Is that better? And then we are going to connect the top to the bottom. So I think we're going to be connecting like these right here. So you know what? I think it's probably better to connect these four, especially if you're vertically challenged like me. Probably better to connect all of those prior to building. So let's do that. And once you get one down, the second one doesn't take nearly as long because you already have kind of a process. And that's why it's important to do this prior to actually needing to use it. Okay. So we're going to take this off. We're going to put this one to the side. And we're going to put this together. And we're going to put it together upside down. And we want this to face this way. So I'm going to put it this way. And then we'll connect the pieces. So when I pull it up, it'll go that way. Okay, perfect. So let's start with putting all the screws in place. And all the screws and butterfly clips are included in the same bag. Okay. All right. So we're gonna put. I'm gonna put the screws underneath. 2, 3. All right. And 4. Okay. Perfect. And now I'm going to screw this into the bottom. You want to kind of just hold it. And you want to repeat that process on all 4 corners. All right. And again, if you're type A about this, go ahead and put you some gloves on. Thank you. Thank you so much. We've never built one of the square ones together, so I thought it would be nice to come and share how to build this one together. And I would say probably plan about 15 minutes for each one. And then you're just going to go in the top with the screw. And then you can come back and tighten them up. I'm going to tighten all these up. All right, so we have one extra screw left over. We'll put that with our extra pieces. Now we're going to slide this back in place, and we're going to put it on the 4 pieces here. All right, and then this is where we're going to put our toppers and washers. We're going to put these right here. They go on the top to hide that screw. This wasn't hard, y'all. What do you think? The only thing we have left to do now is add crystals. Oops. This one probably needs to. You have to be very intentional. Lord have mercy. So that was an extra piece. So, and this is the last one. And all the extras, we'll put those in a separate bag. If I can keep them in my hands. We'll put all those in an extra bag for later. And you shouldn't be able to see any of the silver. So I'm going to redo that just a tad. All right. So we have that. We are ready to go with our crystal. And you want to be very, very careful with this one because it is glass. Now the acrylic, you can, but I want to handle these one by one. And you can put gloves on when you're doing these crystals. But the biggest thing is you want to I want to say this one goes at the top. And you're going to bend it in. And then this one goes through the bottom. And you take that butterfly and you bend it in. So it does not fall. And then you go on the top with the other one. And that's it. Like that is how you do it. And then you just hook it into your centerpiece. And you repeat that process all the way through. So I'm going to double check. I don't know if I'm supposed to have that much. I think that is it. So let's see if I'm supposed to let this hang just a tad bit more. Okay. All right, you guys. So that is how you assemble it. I will be going live again in just a moment. So stay tuned. I'll see you guys in a minute. Bye.